Uzam, this is the Global Digest think tank group. So you are our guest for today, and I see you have various expertise, and you are expert in warfare. You are teaching at the university right now, or what are you doing right now?
Okay, I'm Dr. Mohammad Saeed Zama. Currently, I am serving as an assistant professor in National University of Modern Languages, Rawalpindi. My PhD is in doctrines, that how doctrines impact on the conflict dynamics. And, I've taken the case study of India and Pakistan, whereas my area of interest, which I have interest, that is new and disruptive technologies. And I'm happy to share with you that I have a book on it, and that is Changing Patterns of Warfare Between India and Pakistan, Navigating the Impact of New and Disruptive Technologies. So along with my teaching, I'm fond of doing research. So this is a brief intro of mine. Yeah.
Great, great. So what do you mean disruptive technologies?
This at times this disruptive technology is also reckoned as emerging technologies. So if I conceptualize this disruptive technology, so it means that any technology which has the potential to change the status quo. So there are two phenomenons. One is maintenance of status quo, and the other is change in status quo. So all those technologies, such as artificial intelligence, quantum computing, machine learning, hypersonic missile, lethal autonomous weapons, space-based technologies, cyber-based technologies, these technologies have the potential to change the status quo in political sphere, in military sphere, in interstate conflict. So this is how I see it.
You talk about a lot of technology and military weapons. I'm not sure you have any military background.
Okay, I have, a diploma in electrical engineering. But that was, let me express, that was not my primary interest. I had to do engineering due to some compulsions, but my major focus was on each other. That specific interest led me to jump into social sciences. So I was blessed in a way that, on one hand, I had this technological expertise, so called, and somewhat based in this doing engineering in electrical technology. Nevertheless, in addition to it, I started, studying these subjects, social sciences subjects, such as sociology, such as IR, such as international development studies. So with the passage of time, beautiful fission, quantum computing, machine learning, and these AI based technologies are influencing the world for sure. The technological advancement since scientific revolution and industrial revolution, it has transformed all sectors of the world, all sectors of the life. But keeping in view this industrial age 4.0, and we are jumping into 5.0 just due to this artificial intelligence. So my interest developed in this artificial intelligence, and that was the time when I started to look into that, how these technologies are going to impact the world. And that was the time when my engineering background and social sciences expertise combined together. And what happened, I came up with this research, as I mentioned earlier, book published by Routledge, Taylor and Francis, Changing Patterns of Warfare Between India and Pakistan, Navigating the Impact of New and Disruptive Technologies. So this is how things evolve. Yeah.
So, I mean, you have a lot of academic study research, as you said. And what about realistically in Pakistan military? It Pakistan has such kind of all military weapon, hypersonic or any artificial intelligence, space-based technology? What Pakistan is developing? What kind of weapon Pakistan is developing now?
Okay, as we know that these emerging technologies or disruptive technologies that are in their initial stages, so be that hypersonic missile, be that artificial intelligence, basically these things are evolving, these technologies are evolving. And to be very honest, and if we critically look into it, we come to understanding that these technologies and the research and development related to these technologies need capital. And Pakistan is a part of the world which don't have that much resources, economic resources, to invest hugely in these emerging technologies. And let me give you the example of United States of America, China, and Russia. They are the great parts of the world. Even they are, struggling to move on. For sure, there is a lot of research on artificial intelligence based technologies. United States of America, China, they are doing great in this regard, great in a way that they have invested requisite resources, whatever they have, regarding these technologies. Nevertheless, still they are facing challenges, and still the technology is in evolution. I think that a country like Pakistan, yes, Pakistan has a focus on these technologies. Pakistan, if I mention, Pakistan even devised a artificial intelligence policy in May 2023, last year, in order to understand and comprehend the challenges which the world, and in particular Pakistan, is facing, keeping in view these disruptive technologies. So Pakistan is slowly moving forward on these technologies, and that is particularly determined by the regional context. When I say regional context, it means that Pakistan looks for its security vis-a-vis India. So India is investing to a certain extent in these technologies. For instance, India is planning to invest not only in military domain, but in non-military domain. India is planning to invest hugely in artificial intelligence based technologies. If I give you the example of health sector, so we will come to understanding that India will be investing $100 billion in just this health sector. And not only this health sector, but educational and other domains, including military. So if I link this to Pakistan, so Pakistan always looks into the patterns, be that political, be that economic, be that military, with respect to India, because they have fought major wars. We have evidence. If you look into history, India and Pakistan have fought in 1948, then 1965, then 1971. And this militarism and animosity even led to nuclearization. Both countries became nuclear, possession states, nuclear power states in 1998. And, even after having this nuclearization, they underwent some very severe and dangerous crises, starting from Kargil, Twin Peaks crisis, Mumbai crisis, Uri crisis, and Pulwama Balakot crisis. So under the nuclear overhang, both states, I mean India and Pakistan, they underwent so many, crises. Thankfully, they didn't escalate to the use of nuclear weapon, and strategic stability was there at the strategic level. Nevertheless, what I want to establish is that India and Pakistan, and particularly Pakistan, looks up to India. And if I talk about India, India looks up to China. So there is a vicious security dilemma at the regional level. And this security dilemma is pushing states for this arms racing. And when I'm saying arms racing, so it means not only conventional weapons, but also nuclear weapons. And now these emerging technologies, disruptive technologies such as artificial intelligence, cyber-based technologies, these all are prevailing in the region.
Right. So you point out that Pakistan, India always, crisis used to have a lot of crisis, and Pakistan always aware about security threatened by India, and also there is a very different capacity resources between these two countries. Even though Pakistan want to develop, but you said very limited resources from Pakistan, but India has much bigger resources compared to Pakistan, and they develop a lot of new emerging technology, or you said disruptive technology. So you may know, as the India capacity, India already developed, I think, India developed, hypersonic missile already. I don't know Pakistan developed any hypersonic missile compared to India. If there is India has hypersonic missile, so in case of any conflict, Pakistan have to prepare any hypersonic missile, or any Pakistan capacity to reaction, as you may need also hypersonic missile. Do you have hypersonic missile?
Uh, See, first we must understand what this hypersonic missile is. Any technology, any missile which can fly at the speed of like 5 Mach comes in the domain, 5 Machs or more, that comes in the domain of hypersonic missile. So if we look into the Pakistan's missile technology or India's missile technology, so both countries have missiles which can fly at the speed of like 2.5 Mach or 3 Mach. So there is a little difference, means to say just 2 Mach or 1.5 Mach. I think that India is working on BrahMos missile, the advanced version of BrahMos missile, which is suspected to be having 5 Mach speed. And on the other hand, if you look into Pakistan's capacities, so Pakistan has Ababil and few other technologies which few ballistic missiles which travel at speed of like 2.5 and 3. So they are working on the advanced version of these technologies. But as for now, if we look into the empirical evidence, I think that there is no such missile technology with both of the two countries, India and Pakistan. Yeah. So they may have that, but still, it is in testing phase. It is not it is not deployed in the forces, in the battlefield. So I think that still the process is on, the evolution is on, and things are going in a direction where in coming years time, like 5 to 10 years time, we'll be coming to know the development of these technologies, and it will be manifested in the international relations and in the knowledge production.
I see. So you said India may be on the process of hypersonic missile, but Pakistan not necessarily accept that India has formally developed hypersonic missile. And you said, there is interest by both countries to have further develop hypersonic missile. So I don't know about hypersonic missile, but you said there are many kind of military weapon. Is hypersonic can also deploy or attach nuclear weapon?
Yes, any cruise missile, ballistic missile, and hypersonic can be equipped with the nuclear warhead, no doubt about it. And at the same time, there is a research going on where artificial intelligence will be linked to these emerging technologies. And now we are talking about hypersonic missiles. So see, if artificial intelligence equipped uh, hypersonic missiles are used, or are developed. So this will totally transform the character of warfare, the nature of warfare, be that in South Asia or across the world, and all countries, particularly great powers, as I mentioned earlier, like United States of America, Russia, and China, they are working on it. Particularly if you look into Russia has developed Vanguard missile, and as per the reports, as per the sources, it has a speed of like 20 Mach. So these technologies, emerging technologies, are going to impact the crisis stability, the deterrent stability, and for sure, this strategic stability.
I see. So, hypersonics is very powerful, but usually, conventional weapon, I guess, Pakistan has a lot of prevention or counter attack. But in terms of such a nuclear warhead or hypersonic missile, Pakistan have any prevention, any technology to prevent any missile attacks, or you have any capacity to do counter attacks?
If we look into hypersonic, if we take this hypersonic or this disruptive, particularly this disruptive technology which we are discussing, like hypersonic missile, there is no country in the world who have this capacity to counter hypersonic missiles. Yes, there are some ballistic missile defense systems. There are, and they have a certain potential to counter these technologies. But see, if hypersonic missiles are used, which can fly with a speed of more than 5 Mach, up till now we have developed like a missile of 20 Mach, I mean to say Russian missile, Vanguard. So see how the adversary or how the other state will be defending or will be countering a missile with this much speed. And remember, if dozens of missiles are used, hypersonic, it would be very much difficult for any country to respond to it. And the case in point is Russia-Ukraine war. And there is an evidence, and as per sources, hypersonic missile have been used in Ukraine. Things are evolving. These technological advancements are impacting on the conflict dynamics. And if I link this to artificial intelligence, it's just not the hypersonic missile. If you link it to artificial intelligence, there are so many technologies, AI-based technologies, which are being used by the countries. If you look into Israel-Palestine conflict, Israel is using the AI technologies such as Gospel, Lavenda, Where is Daddy, to collect the data, to analyze the data, and then they hand over that data to military forces, and military forces then target the identified data. And let me, for the convenience of the audience, and I want to take their attention towards a very critical point, that these technologies, these AI technologies, as they are evolving, as they are in their experimentation phase, so many loopholes, so many inaccuracies are there. If you look into, as I mentioned earlier, if you look into Israel-Palestine conflict, Israel has used these technologies like like Gospel, like Lavender, like Where is Daddy, to collect the data. And how they collect the data? They collect the data with respect to mobility of the people, with respect to their phone calls. Uh, and this mobility and these phone calls are not, the justified evidence to declare a specific person as a legal target. I mean to say, more than 43,000 people have been killed in this Israel Hamas war, and 70% of them are children and women. So look at the human cost of these technologies. So these disruptive technologies, they are coming up with the human cost, and the world is required to, the international community is required to look into it. And there is a need to identify the pros and cons of these, so that humanity could be saved. It's not about one specific country only, it's about the world, it's about the human rights.
So you talk about Israeli weapon, and we see when Iranian attack by drone, Israeli prevented and counterattack all the drones.
First, Hamas attacked on Israel on October 7, and that led to killing of like 1,300 people over there on the Israeli side. And on the next day, what happened? Israel planned to counterattack on Hamas, and they launched an offensive against Hamas. And during this Israel Hamas war, up till now, like thousands of people have been killed. As I mentioned earlier, more than 43,000 people have been killed. Now, Hamas used conventional technologies. On the other hand, if you look into it, Israel is one of the technologically advanced countries with respect to, be that military domain, be that political domain. You just name a sector of, life of society. We come to understanding that Israel have done great with respect to technological advancement, and this military domain is not an exception to it. And what happened when Israel launched an offensive against Hamas? So it used all technologies which they had. For instance, as I mentioned earlier, they used artificial intelligence based technologies such as Gospel, Lavender, and Where is Daddy? So these technologies, these AI-based technologies, were used to collect the data, to target the Hamas actors. Okay, meanwhile, while Israel was doing this, so there were errors, there were loopholes with respect to collection of data. As I mentioned earlier, 70% of the total victim are women and children. For sure, we are not here to support Hamas act. We condemn any act, be that by state actor and non-state actor, which results in killing of innocent humans. And nevertheless, if you look into it, these AI-based technologies are resulting in catastrophe, and it is coming up with human cost. Like 70% of the victim are innocent civilians, like women and children. So these technologies are required to be looked in. The world community, the international community, need to look into the cons, the consequences of these technologies. And it's not about Israel-Palestine conflict here. You take the example of Russia-Ukraine conflict. So many innocent people thousands of innocent people have been killed in that war. So where is humanity? Where are international institutions? The international institutions, the global community, and the civil society, like your organization is, need to raise voice for the innocent people who are dying in this, in these wars brutally. So we need to raise voice irrespective of any discrimination. Humanity is important. Human rights are important, and this technological advancement. We cannot undiscover these technologies. I know we cannot undiscover this nuclear weapon. We cannot undiscover this artificial intelligence. Nevertheless, we must, nevertheless, the world, the international regimes must come up with some sort of framework and mechanism in order to mitigate the threats.
So you clearly point out AI technology sometimes, I mean, 100% is not safe, you know, it can be a lot of exception and a lot of error and a lot of miscalculation in terms of human casualty. In Palestinian, you said majority die, which are not supposed to be targeted, children and women. And Ukrainian also defend much of their sky, I think, in Ukrainian air defense system, sky defending, Israeli defending Iranian drone. AI technology, that is much better, we can say like that.
Okay, now we need to conceptualize this artificial intelligence first. See, artificial intelligence is what it is. It is simulation of human way of thinking. Means to say, when machine will start to think like humanly, so it is artificial intelligence. And remember, we are just here in the first stage. The humanity is at the first stage, means to say narrow AI. And we are moving on towards generative AI. And then there will be the third stage, that is super AI. So these stages are required to be looked in with respect to human input, human involvement. So in narrow AI stage, or at narrow AI stage, the human involvement is maximum. And the machines, based in algorithm models and machine learning, do what the humans dictate them to do, what the humans instruct them to do, you know. And when we jump onto this generative AI, so the human input or human involvement is still out there, no doubt about it, but you know, it is minimized with respect to narrow AI stage. And this is, you know, a dangerous stage, because the machines at times will decide when to kill, where to kill, how to kill. This is dangerous. And remember, what we are predicting, what I am predicting, that there will be a time of super AI stage, super artificial intelligence stage. And this super AI stage basically will be like the machine will be deciding themselves what to think, how to think, what to do, how to do, where to do. And if we link it to military warfare, or if we link that to military domain, we come to understanding that machines will be deciding the fate of humanity. This is so dangerous. This is so lethal. And be that, as I mentioned earlier, Israel-Palestine conflict, be that Russia-Ukraine conflict, or any conflict across the world, these technologies are required to be checked upon. There need to be some regimes, there need to be some mechanism. The international community, the United Nations need to do something about it.
Right. So, I mean, we cannot totally trust AI, as you said, and also we can also use wisely. And the other thing is, we should have a deterrent. You have any such kind of, I mean, logistically, then strategically, nuclear deterrent umbrella group. Do you have it, or you just rely on yourself?
Okay, there are certain frameworks where Pakistan is playing a very important role, in managing these things, and Pakistan has contributed a lot to these arms control regime. Nevertheless, Pakistan is not part of NPT or CTBT. few of these mechanisms. Nevertheless, as I mentioned earlier, Pakistan look up to its security vis-a-vis India. It is Pakistan who basically proposed a nuclear weapon-free zone. Means to say, they proposed in United Nations that South Asia should be nuclear weapon-free zone. There should be no nuclear weapon over here in South Asia. What happened? India tested their nuclear device in 1974 in the first phase, and then in 1998 they overtly equipped themselves with the nuclear weapon for the second time. So what I want to establish is Pakistan responded to India's nuclearization. And if I talk about India, so India is of the view that we nuclearized due to China. And if you look into China, so China look up to Russia and United States of America to ensure their survival and security. So there is a vicious circle. There's a vicious security dilemma, which is prevailing out there in the world. And every country, each and every country, in order to ensure its survival, based on self-help approach, they are working to ensure their military capabilities and nuclear capabilities, and that includes Pakistan too. Yeah.
Right. So there is endless cycle